Another first for Sonny. Hello, everyone. It is LAFC Plus episode 70. We're going to hit you right away with the very first LAFC MLS goal from Son Heung-min. He scored it in Dallas on a wicked free kick. This is what it sounded like, my call on 710 ESPN and ESPN LA, the app.
Free blows his whistle. Son over the ball. 5-man wall and a man underneath him. Son. Here he goes. Approaches with the right foot. Shot over the wall and in! Oh, what a goal! Son Heung-min! Oh, what a free kick! It leaves Colodi stunned. It's 1-0. And the sun shines again for LAFC.
Indeed. What a free kick golazo there, Mario. That was just pure class. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Good to hear from you. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's always good to get that first one out of the way, right? So now you can just relax and just let the rest come, right? And I know it's funny talking about relaxing. Sonny was at Dodger Stadium last night, and I could tell he was kind of nervous for that first pitch, that ceremonial first pitch. So now he says after throwing that first pitch, he can relax and watch the Dodger game. But yeah, getting those first out of the way is always a good thing. And it's so good to see Sonny just open up his account with such a beauty, right? What a way to start it off with a free kick like that. A beautiful masterpiece.
Look, people will tell you, just get your first goal. Doesn't matter what it is. Bounces off some dude's shin and goes in as long as it's your goal.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. Every goal is a good goal. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's all true. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you can go ahead and score a golazo, just a great free kick, why not, right? I mean, you could hear it in my voice with the call. As soon as it left his foot, I knew it was going in. Like, you could just see it. Like, it was just perfectly hit. And sometimes that is the case. Sometimes you just know as soon as they hit it. He probably knew that too. It's going in. There's nothing Colodi could do. By the way, without getting too far ahead, beating Michael Colodi, the goalkeeper for FC Dallas, as it turns out, was not an easy feat. So that free kick was utterly amazing. Colodi made some huge saves to keep that game at 1-1. And again, LAFC get the draw. That's the most important thing. As you see the free, if you're watching on YouTube, we're just playing the free kick, just the amazing. But no keeper was getting to that.
If you're listening to the podcast, too, you're noticing the crowd, right? Yeah, that's what I noticed. Exactly. The crowd, it sounds like it's a BMO Stadium match, right? And there's not too many players that go on the road and get this type of reaction from the crowd, from a goal, right? From the opponent, coming into your own stadium. And the flags were up, the Korean flags were up, the iPhones were out. It was just an awesome environment for him to score his first goal like that on the road and get that love from everybody.
In a unique environment, Mario, because Toyota Stadium's being renovated, the renovation's going to go till like 2028. So they kind of just started. If you ever watch a game on like MLS Season Pass or whatever, and you see FC Dallas, unfortunately for them, the side that's actually being shown on TV is partial. It's like all shut off because of the renovations. So the actual like attendance is only about 11,000. Now, most of the time it's jam packed with FC Dallas fans. Of course, the attendance is down to 11,000 because a lot of the stadium is cut off for renovations. But a lot of them gave up their tickets. Let's put it that way for this one, because it was not a decidedly FC Dallas crowd in a lot of ways. Let's put it this way. The home field advantage wasn't really that big a deal in that match. And Son had a whole lot to do with that, certainly, with the LAFC crowd that had, and as you said, the South Korean faithful that came out to watch their national team hero score just a ridiculous goal.
And talking about the South Koreans that come out to see him, Dave, I was at Dodger Stadium last night for Sonny throwing out the ceremonial first pitch before the Dodgers-Reds game. And I just came to a realization there. I mean, there's like some athletes that they're the best player, on their team, their respective team. And then some players are like the captain. Some players are the leader of the team. But then there's very few unique players that are just super mega icon stars, and there's not one of these players for each and every team. Not every team has an icon or a superstar. I'm talking about a real superstar like these guys, like Shohei Ohtani and Son Heung-min. I mean, these guys, everything they do is just like The phones are on them. There's a buzz when they just walk around. It's just a unique thing to watch.
It's so true.
The fans' reaction whenever they're just in the area, and it's so cool. And that's why these guys are worth every single penny and then some, because you hear about, we were talking about right before we started this show about the jersey sales and all that. The jersey sales are through the roof. There's just numbers, and the dollar signs are just crazy from what these players bring in with all the merch and everything. So these are icons, and you have to take advantage of being a fan, that they're in your town. Take advantage of that. And also, if you're part of the team, if you're in the ownership in the front office, you got to take advantage of these moments while they are here. You got to seize the moment. You got to put players around them and try to win now.
Absolutely. But even from a business perspective, on a larger scale, that's what MLS Season Pass is about with Apple TV. Yeah. Because you can watch it everywhere and anywhere. There's no restrictions, no blackouts, all over the world. So when you have Lionel Messi coming to your league and Son Heung-min, you don't go on. I hate to say it, no disrespect, you can't keep it local. It just has to be worldwide. That's just the bottom line.
It's global.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be when you're going to sign those type of players. Mm-hmm. And that is just the nature of business, and that's what sports are. Let's face it. I mean, we love it for the competition and we love it for the entertainment. It's a business. And once you go a certain way, that's why MLS Season Pass exists on Apple TV. That's the bottom line. And that's where...
And it was so good to see so many Tottenham jerseys there, LAFC jerseys at Dodger Stadium. They're just in support of Son Heung-min and, of course, Shohei Ohtani. But the fans there of Sonny are just so proud of him. I mean, they saw that I had a credential, some of the fans, and they saw that I was recording, and we're getting content, getting footage and stuff of Sonny, and they would ask why are you recording Son? You're supposed to be recording Dodgers and all this stuff, and they're asking where I worked and stuff. And when you tell them, ESPN LA or LAFC, they're just so happy that they're just so proud of their guy.
Sure.
So it's cool to see that, getting them all that attention here in the States and in Los Angeles.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this will be hard for some people to hear, but we're LAFC Plus podcast, and we're a lot of soccer people listen, all the new fans we have listening. I don't know where the video came from. I don't know if it was just kind of an MLB thing or whatever, but it was a video of Son looking at Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if he was on the on-deck circle or whatever. He was kind of really, I don't know if he was taking a picture. You could tell Son was a fan at that point, right? He's watching the game. He's wow, that's Shohei Ohtani. Here's the funny part, and this is no disrespect to Shohei Ohtani. He is amazing. Son is bigger than Shohei Ohtani worldwide. It's just the game we play, right? The game we're involved in. I don't play it, but it's just the sport he plays. And he was in Tottenham. He was in Tottenham for 10 years in the Premier League, the biggest league in the world. Let's be realistic. And again, he's wowed by Shohei Ohtani, but everybody's wowed by Son. I mean, he's a bigger global superstar than anybody on the Dodgers. And again, no disrespect to Shohei Ohtani, who's the most amazing baseball player maybe of all time, certainly in this in this era or whatever. He's just ridiculous. Shohei Ohtani is just worldwide too, but Son is bigger worldwide. That is just to think about that and how big our sport is in a sense, that really floored me when I watched that, because he was sitting right there. If you're watching on YouTube, there's video of Son with the good seats he had, nice seats, kind of close to the dugout. And he was watching Shohei Ohtani like a fan, of course, like we all are, because Ohtani does something crazy every night. And yet he doesn't, I don't even know if he realizes, I think he does, but he's the bigger global star. Again, not at Dodger Stadium. I'm not stupid. I know there's a lot of Son fans who came out, but Shohei Ohtani is the man. Don't get me wrong, but wow, what a just a signing. It really keeps hitting me over and over. And we've talked about it a lot on this show, but
and the competitor that he is, Dave, he was practicing, in the week leading up to throwing out the first pitch, in which he actually threw it right down the middle, a perfect strike. And he was so relieved after that. You could tell he was just oh, now I can relax and watch the game. But Sonny just takes it to a whole nother level with his brand. And I mean, when was the last time an MLS team or LAFC was on Good Morning America? I saw he was on Good Morning America today. That's huge for MLS, for LAFC. But the brands are just helping out each other, right? The LA brand is helping out Sonny, and Sonny is definitely helping out the LAFC brand. But with like all this excitement and all this, just buzz about Sonny, I think ultimately at the very end of his time here, years to come here with LAFC, it's going to be judged on how many trophies he brought to the cabinet, right? So
exactly.
Still work to do.
There's
still a lot of work to do for LAFC and Sonny. So, by the time his time is done here with LAFC, that's going to be the real determining factor of how successful this was, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what everybody would say around the organization, right? Obviously, everybody's just super excited to have him and that we're able to sign him. Credit to the organization and John Thorrington and his people and the ownership that stepped forward, obviously, with huge signing, no doubt. But they want to win. That's the bottom line, as Mario said. You got to bring trophies in. And guess who else wants to win? Son. I mean, that's what he's here for, too. He knows better, so he's too smart for that. He knows what it's really about in the end is you got to win. You got to perform. And so far, so good. And you know what else, Mario? I'll say this about that game.
Mm-hmm.
There are draws, and we talk about it all the time at LAFC Plus on this show, and we just lay it out there, the truth. There are sometimes that a draw is a loss, right? It just is.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about that during the broadcast.
Yeah.
During the broadcast, you and I were talking about that.
And on paper, this one, but the more I think of this match, I didn't hate the performance at all. I thought it doesn't, look, you don't want to get a draw against a team that's 3-8-2 at home. But I thought Michael Collodi, again, the keeper, he has been red hot since coming in for the injured Martin Paz. And he had saves that saved them 2 points. Well, no, cost us 2 points, saved them a point. Because LAFC should have won that match, no doubt. And they played well enough to win in front of goal. Sometimes, Denis Bouanga, right? You miss a shot as a forward, and you're like, oh, he really wants that one back. He had some great efforts that were great saves. David Martinez, last kick of the match. 99% of the time, that's going in. And Collodi
Sonny had 2 other shots, too.
Sonny got stoned on a couple of things that he probably couldn't believe he got, that the keeper stoned him on, that kept the ball out of the net. So it wasn't as though, really bad performance. No, look, you can't keep giving up goals minutes after you score. Yeah. Right. And that's what happened again. We know that because all the momentum, it changes the whole thing. You're up early 1-0 on an incredible golazo from Son. You feel like, okay, here we go. This could be like one of those games where he gets a hat trick and 3 assists and we win 6-1 or what, it's the floodgates are going to open and Dallas scores 5 minutes later, essentially, or 6 minutes, That's
very unfortunate on that goal, right? To concede that goal from FC Dallas in that manner, Hugo Lloris all over that shot. He was all over Farrington's shot right there, ready to make the save, and then it takes a misdirection right off the Tafare's leg and rolls into the back of the net. I mean, other than that, only 2 shots on goal for FC Dallas. Okay, but you shouldn't be there.
Farrington beat the defense. Let's face it. To get
it was
that
a good
shot
ball.
Off,
it was a good ball.
It's unlucky in the end, but he got to that position and shouldn't have. Bottom line. I mean, not that he's not a good player, but the defense should have handled it earlier in the play, is my point. You're right about the end of it. Nothing Lloris can do. I mean, the ball goes right through your legs after it gets deflected. He didn't even have time to think about it.
But it wasn't like it was a clear shot. It wasn't a clear chance. I mean, it was a shot at the goal, but Tafari was there and Lloris was right there. Both of them were right there.
Okay, but he shouldn't have been in that position.
The deflection helped him out. Yeah.
I understand we're going to disagree on this one, though. The defense has to shut that down first, is my point. And they know that. So I know what you mean. It's a kind of a fluke goal, but you only score fluke goals when you're in position to score fluke goals, too. I mean, something happened earlier in that play that wasn't the best defense. Let's put it that way.
But on the other side, LAFC had many chances to put the game away, win the game, many chances. But something that we always talk about also is got to be clinical with the finishing. You have all those chances. Denis had 2 shots right in front of the goal in the same sequence of the play. And really, the shots were not that great of shots. And he was right there in front. I know Denis would love to put those away.
Yes, one of them for sure. I mean, he would probably say that. I think one of them was a really good save, too. And, that's what I mean. Again, nothing else David Martinez could do on the last effort. And I thought Denis did enough to score on those. In a lot of opportunity, in a lot of games, those would have went in. Or at least one of them would have. Now, I don't disagree. He needs to be more clinical. He would tell you that. on certain plays. But I just don't. And I'm a guy, like I said, normally I feel like it's a loss after a draw, no matter who you're playing, no matter what the situation. This one feels like it's still something you can build on with the performance. Maybe it's because of the goal of Son and the way he's connecting with his teammates a little better each game. There is that positivity in the sense that there's still a lot to look forward to with this team. Yeah, it's not the best result you wanted. Wasn't the victory or whatever. You went undefeated in the 3 road games, 2 of them draws. Okay. So still a lot to build on, still a lot to get better about, no doubt, to improve upon. But I do like where this team is headed, Mario. Maybe it's all just the Son is just that good. But
Sonny has been ready since his debut in Chicago, which was like 3 weeks ago. He's fit, ready to go. He's in form, but it is still going to be a matter of time, just still learning his teammates and their tendencies and some of their movements, some of their runs. That's going to come with time. And hopefully we'll get there right before heading into the playoffs. Hopefully everybody is healthy and he's 100% comfortable with everybody around him on the pitch. We know he's comfortable here in LA and everything is fitting and everything is just the right fit. But on the pitch, there's still a little bit more to learn from each other, from the teammates to Sonny and vice versa, right? And I think that's going to come with time. You can't just right away just learn everybody and just have the greatest chemistry with everybody right away. As good as a fit as Sonny is, that's going to take time. But I think Sonny is very happy that he doesn't have to jump on a flight this weekend, right? Because to start off his time here at LAFC with 3 long road trips, 3 long flights just to start off his time here at the LAFC, and now to finally be at home for the full week of training and just have to drive up to BMO Stadium on Sunday night. He's definitely excited about that one, just like we all are.
These were road trips. These were not like go to Ontario Airport and pop over to Portland or head on up to San Jose for more, or Ontario, quick little puddle jumps or whatever. No, these were road trips, no doubt. So he definitely got the taste of MLS right from the start. Throw in a little bit of field turf there in New England.
But he wasn't fazed by it, right? Like he loved it.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a pro, so we got that going for us, no doubt. Speaking of pros, LAFC added a couple of players, Mario, that we want to talk about, and seeing Ryan Porteous for the first few times looks perfectly solid. Not a lot of minutes yet, but slipped right into that back line, no problem. But a couple of new signings, more on the offensive side, if you will. And here's what I want to do on this podcast. And if you can help us, please go to YouTube and leave a comment about what I'm about to say on this podcast. You can go to the LAFC page, YouTube page. That's where you'll find all of the LAFC content, including LAFC Plus. That's where it lives. If you want to leave us a content on, I wanted to pronounce the new signings' names, and I was trying to make sure. We like to, obviously, with the radio broadcast, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing people's names correctly. That's only the right thing to do. Andy Morin. So that's kind of how you pronounce that. And Alexandru Balutza. So those are the new LAFC attacking type players, and more and more of a midfielder, obviously coming in, Irish international. Alexandru Balutza played previously with the Romanian national team. I believe Steaua Bucuresti, the last huge club that he was with, came over on a free. So welcome to the black and gold, first and foremost. And if I'm not appropriately pronouncing those names, please correct me if you know better. So you definitely want to leave comments on that. But I am excited to call their names, certainly, as soon as they can get out on the pitch for LAFC.
And talking about pronunciations, Dave, I have a Spanish word for you. It's called partidazo. Partidazo. Can you say that, Dave? Partidazo.
Partidazo?
Partidazo. That means mega match. Yes, that means mega match.
Like okay, partido, of course. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, you know your Spanish, Dave. Well, partido's game. Partidazo is like huge game, mega match.
Yeah,
yes. So that's what we got coming up against San Diego FC on Sunday. I mean, it was already a big game before Sonny was even gonna get here, but now, I mean, with the first place team coming into town, they already beat LAFC in San Diego, and then Sonny making his home debut. Yeah. That's a partidazo.
So many people asking me for tickets. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh,
good luck in this one. They are few and far between. That's what I got to say. I was hoping I could help out as many people as possible, but yikes. It's wow. This is definitely a hot ticket, no doubt. And I think all the rest of the season is sold out or something. The rest of the home games certainly are sold out. We only have a few more left, regular season. Playoffs are going to be off the hook. I mean, it's just going to be insane.
Oh, my gosh.
This is just ridiculous. And, oh, by the way, San Diego FC is the first place team in the West. As Mario said, this game was huge, before we knew Son was coming in, and that would be his home debut. Mario, are you finally a believer in San Diego FC? Because they weren't convincing you. They didn't convince you for a long time.
I know. I mean, after seeing San Diego beat every SoCal team in the league, they beat the Galaxy twice already. They just beat San Jose in San Jose a couple weeks ago. They beat LAFC, like we said, back in March. And just seeing what Anders Dreyer is doing, potential MVP. He's on a run with goals and assists. Oh, yeah. I mean, 13 goals, 15 assists, just killing it. I mean, after seeing Mikey Varas, the head coach over there, just having all of his guys just, fight for every single ball, fight in every single game. This team is for real, Dave. I mean, they're a real threat to be one of the hottest teams in the MLS Cup playoffs when they come around. If they stay in form, stay, injury free, they are a dangerous team. So after doubting them, I think a few weeks ago, I've kind of realized that this team is for real. I'm not doubting them anymore. They've already clinched a playoff spot. They were the first team in MLS this year to clinch a playoff spot. So yeah, and they're still trying to get that supporter shield. They're only 1 point under Philadelphia in that supporter shield race.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Mario with the stats, I love it. He's actually got 2 more assists. I think secondary assists in MLS. So I thought the same thing as you, but he actually 13 and 17 assists with the extra.
It's a lot of goal.
MLS does add some assists. Yeah, they add the hockey assists sometimes. 13 and 17, 30 goal contributions in 28 starts for Anders Dreyer. Yeah, so that, and again, he's kind of what everybody thought Chucky Lozano would be on the pitch in terms of stats. And Lozano's been great. I mean, he's been a great signing for them. 8 goals, 8 assists, good season. He's a great player. But Dreyer has just been, you're right.
He leaves a mark on every single match, Dave. Like, if you're a player like that can just come into a game and just know that Dreyer is in this game, just leave a mark like that, that's a really good player. So LAFC is going to have to stop him. Like, if LAFC can stop him, I like LAFC's chances. But if he gets to cooking, it's going to be tough for LAFC.
I know Mikey Varas is a good manager, not just because of their record, of course. They are a team that plays with the utmost confidence.
Yeah.
And I keep waiting for somebody to punch him in the nose and that it sticks. But they always slide the punches.
Yeah.
Because even when they're down in San Jose or against San Jose on the road, down 1-0, 85th minute, they come back to win. They don't come back to draw. They get the full 3 points. That was just an absolutely crushing loss for San Jose when you're taking on the best team in the West and you have them 1-0 in the 80+ minutes and you lose the match. Like, they're not just like, we can come back. They're like, we're going to come back and win. I mean, they have so much confidence, and it's not false confidence. Nobody, like I said, even when they do get punched, doesn't seem to really, sting them that bad. They're still in every match, essentially. I mean, yeah, everybody's going to lose in MLS more, a few more games than the top teams in other leagues because the top teams in other leagues are so ridiculously better than everybody else. MLS, we all know it's about parity. And even still, a team like San Diego is like not letting people get a hold of them. They're slipping punches all the time. And that is amazing. That's got to be a large part of what Mikey Varas is telling them, and how he's managing this club, not just the X's and O's.
And they're going to try to manage all this buzz and energy that is going to be inside BMO Stadium on Sunday night because, as we all know, that's going to be the home debut of Sonny here for LAFC. But that's only going to push LAFC harder. Sonny wants to have that win in his home debut. But how badly do LAFC need these 3 points? And how badly do they want this revenge on San Diego? Because, in San Diego, LAFC fell short against San Diego. So this is a game that could be a Western Conference final, in my opinion, too. So that's another. This is like a preview of the playoffs, I think. Yeah. At some point down the line, both of these teams could find themselves going deep into the playoffs and meeting up again. And I would not mind that. That would be a great matchup, whether here in LA or in San Diego. I think LAFC fans will be there. They will not mind taking that trip to San Diego and representing for LAFC. So, yeah, this is a very intriguing matchup coming up. Probably the best matchup of the weekend. And there's a lot of good football coming up this weekend, too.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. We'll get to that for sure. But along the lines of what you're saying, yes, it's such a huge game that, look, doesn't matter how you do it. Get the 3 points, right? It doesn't have to be pretty and everything. But if you can kind of, like I say, punch them and sting them, maybe cut him a little, and then all of a sudden it's like, remember in Rocky, it's like, you see, he's a man, he's not a machine. Like, LA, this is late in the season. You give San Diego a good little thrashing coming up on Sunday. They're going to remember that come the playoffs, right? No matter what the seeding is. We didn't think LAFC could get to the number 1 seeding probably last season at certain times, right? No doubt. They ended up top seed. Now, it was crazy in the final day and it all.
And there's still a chance this year, too.
Of course.
Still a chance. This is a huge part of it, though.
But even if you don't, it's more about setting the stage for what San Diego is going to be feeling about themselves if you end up playing them in the postseason. And if you, on your home turf, give them a nice little sound thrashing. Because, look, that other first game, full 3 points, full credit to San Diego for getting it. But that was like in March. I mean, that's, those are different teams ago. I mean, we all know. All the change, obviously. So this one stays with you for good or bad. I mean, if you come out and have a bad game at home against San Diego, oh my gosh, their confidence is off the charts going into the playoff. Not that LAFC can't recover from that, but I'm saying San Diego would then just be like, oh my goodness, we're gonna go. Like I don't think this is a St. Louis thing where St. Louis approached the playoffs, even though they were the number 1 seed in the West in their first season. They approached the playoffs on a downswing, really. This. If you don't feed San Diego this loss, they could be flying high going into the playoffs.
And you know who else has been playing really well for San Diego is Anibal Godoy in the middle of the park for San Diego. I mean, the 35-year-old, he's a veteran of MLS, been holding it down just all season long. And he's one of the bigger surprises in my eyes, At the beginning of the season, I didn't really think that he was going to be as effective, but I think all season long, he's been a key to a lot of the success there in San Diego. So, and he's right in the middle of the park. He's had a lot of experience, been around a lot of different leagues in football too. Yeah. So, and he's international for Panama's team too. So, good player right there.
I think he fits well with Verskov. Verskov is the defensive mid, more of the 6, and Godoy had usually been kind of that rugged 6 type, but now he's doing a little bit more because Verskov is back there just locking it down at the 6, and I think Godoy has not so much it's not like freedom where he's not a number 10 or anything like that. That's not Anibal Godoy's game, but I think Mikey Veras is using him in a good way. Give him a little more freedom, side to side, up, box to box if he has to. And again, he's not going to crush you offensively, but he's not terrible either. And he does really kind of knit that team together in a lot of ways. You're right. It's been a good.
Yeah, I think Mikey Veras has a lot of confidence in him, and which gives him a lot of confidence, right? The player, which gives the rest of the team a lot of confidence. You're talking about how high and how confident they are. I think that's just part of it.
Here's the thing, though, and again, some people who aren't black and gold fans or haven't been here for all 70 episodes don't understand. I don't always talk like this about a match. LAFC is the better team. Now, again, nobody's going to believe that right now, except for my eyes, and they have the better roster. Sorry. Now, again, San Diego's playing amazingly, and they're going to come in with all the confidence in the world, and rightfully so. So it's not going to be easy. Anything can happen in MLS. We know that, even at BMO or wherever. But LAFC should win. That's just the bottom line with everything that's going on into this match. And that's what you have to expect at home. And that's what LAFC does expect at home. No question about it. Doesn't matter.
And talking about being at home, how many San Diego fans will we see at BMO Stadium? Because we know it's that short trip, and we know that they've had this circled on their calendar even before Sonny came to LAFC. So they probably, got their tickets way before the Sonny, effect on the price of the tickets and all that. Sure. So I think there's going to be a good amount of San Diego fans at BMO Stadium, but still that doesn't mean that the 3252 can drown out those San Diego fans. It's going to be a great atmosphere for Sonny to make his home debut. He's going to love it under the lights of BMO Stadium on a Sunday night. It's going to be awesome.
No doubt. Now, Mario, before we get to the Leagues Cup, we got some more stuff. The plus of LAFC Plus coming. Here's another kind of portion of the plus. It's more than just LAFC. I ended up in my store. I go to my local Target. Oftentimes I see, I'm trying to look for trading cards, soccer cards. I collect a little bit. Not huge, but I'm into it. Kind of picked up some FIFA Club World Cup stickers that came out, which I don't always do. Bought a little pack. And LAFC are not in this collection. Leon is. Because obviously when you do these type of trading cards or, they're printed well in advance or all these things, the licensing and all that has to be taken care of long in advance.
We get
so
that.
I knew, no LAFC, so I wasn't worried about that. But me, you may not, I don't know if this is going to be a tricky question. So I'm not expecting you to know this because maybe I'm not that vocal about it. Although what am I not vocal about in my life? My favorite player, other than LAFC, of course, my favorite world, around the world type player is a gentleman from Mamelodi Sundowns, right?
There you go.
Timboho Mokoena, one of my favorite midfielders in the world, one of my favorite players. Got to watch him in the Club World Cup. So cool, and knew he was going to be, obviously Mamelodi had qualified well in advance, unlike, what LAFC had to go through to get there. And in the last little pack of these stickers, boom, that was the dude I hit. Nice. The last pack of the stickers. If you're on YouTube watching, you can certainly. Timboho Mokoena. I was like an 8-year-old opening up the stickers.
You were jumping up and down.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting like great players left and right, and just looking through
Dave, you send that in to go get graded. I mean, it's going to come back worth absolutely nothing, but to you, it's worth $1 million, Dave.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Exactly. Absolutely. I saw I had gotten a couple of, I think I had one more Sundowns player earlier in the box, like the earlier pack, it wasn't him. This was like the last pack of the box, and I got
so I was at a tournament the other weekend with my son, and they had like a booth of this one guy, this young gentleman, just selling packs of cards. Nice. So I was like, you got any MLS? He goes, we sold out, but I can open up a whole nother box and we can just go through some packs. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So
nice.
I got a couple of packs for a couple of the kids on his team, and we all started opening up packs.
Love it.
And one of the kids that got the pack right next to me, he got the David Martinez rookie card. I was
Beautiful.
Like, oh man. I was like, let's trade right now. He's like, nope, I like LAFC.
That's right.
Like, good for you. Yeah, that was a nice card.
You should mention it. I got one right here. So that's
there you go.
David. Now this is probably a little bit of a different. I don't know if it's the same one you got because there's obviously all these variations and parallels and everything else. So, but yeah, it's pretty funny. That's great stuff. And I'll tell you what, my place where I go, there very rarely are the MLS cards still there. They're sold out.
Oh yeah, same here. Same the Target here by the house.
I hardly see many soccer cards left, but even so, you'll still see occasional box like a blaster or a hobby box of like a European product, whatever, Champions League, whatever the cards are. There's several different products. MLS ones gone. You never see them. Like
my wife, she goes to Target, sometimes gets a box for me. She'll get like a little blaster box or something, and she brought home a Bundesliga box, and I was like, they didn't have MLS. She's like, no MLS.
I know, and even when I see MLS, there might be one left, and then they're all the rest are it's all other leagues or whatever that there's still plenty left, so to speak. It's like so I can barely get my hands on them sometimes, but
it's tough.
Got those stickers just for. And I kind of figured LAFC wouldn't be in the checklist actually because of that. Obviously we were added.
Understandable.
Literally the last minute. You can't. So Leon actually, their team is in that.
That is stickers.
Funny. I got a couple players.
Does that make those cards worth more money? I mean, does that give them more value?
So. I doubt it, only because they had been planned to be in there all. I mean, maybe if they had kind of like printed some and then changed it over to LAFC later, like if these were going to be around for a long time, although this is probably a limited kind of run just because the Club World Cup was only, a month or whatever. So it's a good question though. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like that is an interesting point. Like years from now, these stickers will be like, well, Club Leon, Ivan Moreno.
Yeah.
Like what?
Exactly.
What? Yeah, like he wasn't.
I mean, if one of those players were to really start cooking and just blow up around the world and funny, go, that would make the card worth a lot more, probably.
Sure. That's a good point. Well, we do got to get around the rest of MLS. There is weekend action. But first, the League's Cup final and third place matches are set.
Mm-hmm.
Not huge surprises in who made it to both of those, in a sense. Inter Miami defeats Orlando, although if you ask Orlando or even neutral fans, they're going to tell you the referees, some calls that they were concerned about. But, the goals that Inter Miami ended up scoring late, just the teamwork and the passing and just ridiculous. Yeah. And Messi was just red hot. I mean, when this guy wants to win, and he usually does, I mean, I'm saying he always wants to win, you know what I mean? But when he's coming at you and he really firing at you, you can't stop him. Nobody can. And Inter Miami beat Orlando. Seattle eases by the Galaxy. No real problem there. 2-0, though they get the red card to Nuhu, Mario. What was he doing late in that match? Now he's got to miss the final, which will be at Lumen Field coming up Sunday. What are your thoughts on these?
He did get all ball on that red card, but then his foot was kind of left up a little bit high. And with
Fair enough, yeah. Questionable there, too, like that. I mean, if maybe they'll rescind it. I don't know. As we're doing this show, that's not been the case. I don't think,
That's the tough part, right? He has to miss the final on that one. That's the tough part. But it is going to be a very intriguing final, with Leagues Cup. That's the undercard for the big LAFC versus San Diego FC game. But anyway, it's a very interesting game.
The two finalists are in to the Champions Cup. Yeah. At least they know that they're in. That sets up what is one of the features of the Leagues Cup is so great. And I've been talking about this for the World Cup in the last several cycles. Third place matches. If you're going to play them, you got to have something on the line, right? Now, in the World Cup, you're playing for pride. Third place matters because in 30 years, people will talk about we finished third in the World Cup. I get that. That's the World Cup. I still would like to add a spot in the next World Cup for the third place game. Two finalists and the third place team should make the next World Cup, in my humble opinion.
I love that. I love that idea. Amazing.
But that's what they do in this tournament.
And I think that's what Cup. Has the Galaxy is going to be so up for this third place match. I mean, they're already looking forward to 2026, right? And to look forward to 2026, it would be really nice for them to be in the Conca Champions with a third place win against Orlando, right? This is the only match left of the year for them that has any meaning, any worth, right? Because there's nothing else
for the Galaxy. Season, of course.
This is it. Yeah.
We're giddy about that, right? LAFC fans, the black and gold. Yes, of course. We're perfectly fine with the LA Galaxy struggles. Great. No problem. Mm-hmm. But let's remember something. If they get in, if they win this third place match, let's all be realistic. If Ricky Puig is healthy, this is not a last place team. And by any stretch, they won the title last year. Obviously, they had to get rid of some players. We know how that is. We've, faced that. When you win in MLS, like the Cup, a lot of times you got to redo your roster to a certain extent. The Galaxy took it to the next level, right? They had to do it because of what they went after the title with, and they won it. If you get a healthy Ricky Puig, for all the fact that we don't like the Galaxy, obviously we don't want to see them do well. Holy cow, they could do some damage in the Champions Cup. So
that's why I'm looking forward to next year's Leagues Cup for LAFC. And I really, really hope it's a top priority for LAFC because it is such a quick way to get into the Conca Champions. You just got to get 1, 2, or 3. I mean, easier said than done, but it is
not easy,
quick and good chance to get into the Conca Champions, which everybody wants to be in that tournament. And for obvious
especially
reasons.
The way the format is, Mario, we didn't lose a match in the Leagues Cup, right? I know we lost on penalties one time. That's a draw, right? So LAFC didn't lose a match, and frankly, we weren't even near the top 4, and that's how tough it is. So you earn it, even though it's a quicker way to get. You still have to earn it with a third place or better. There's no doubt about it. That is tough in this now Leagues Cup format, and so whoever gets it certainly earned it. But I know what you mean. You're exactly right. Like it's nothing to be messed with because these teams are one step closer to the Club World Cup. And that's the bottom line. We've been there. We've tasted it now. I want it again and again and again. I want to go every time. Yes. I'm sorry. That tournament is too important already, And for anybody who's not been there as a fan of the club, you don't understand yet, right? You might have watched it and you might have missed it and you might have felt it. But realistically, you don't understand it until you're there.
It's only going to get better, Dave. The next one's going to be even bigger and better.
You have to get there by any means possible. And if that means winning Leagues Cup or coming in third in this third place game with Orlando and the Galaxy, huge game going on at Dignity Health Sports Park on Sunday. Now, that's the first one. Mario talked about the middle game there essentially on Sunday is the final, Inter Miami taking on Seattle in Lumen Field. And then, of course, the final game, as we've talked about, San Diego visiting us. And you can hear that one on 710 ESPN. Airtime for the pregame, 7 p.m. Pacific. Kickoff's like 7:55. So we're going to have a lot of buildup going up to that kickoff there, a little bit later than usual, probably due in no small part to the way the night is breaking in terms of the Leagues Cup. And then this match, which is the biggest one of the weekend in MLS. Mario, are there other even games? Do we really even need to talk about other MLS games realistically at this point? I mean,
we could just shout them out really quick. It only take a couple of seconds, but I know we're coming up against it. But yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, we have Cincinnati against Philadelphia, which is a great one. The two top teams in the East are going at it for first and second place. They're going for the Supporters Shield. That's a great one in the East. I know you had one also as well that you wanted to talk about.
I love the Canadian Classique always. Toronto, Montreal. Yeah, of course. The records, forget about it. Neither of these teams probably going to make the playoffs by any means, but they go at it. It doesn't matter how bad they are. Whenever these two teams meet, this is some heavy rivalry stuff. There's no doubt about it. These cities don't like each other. They go at it, and it is always an interesting and intriguing type of game with storylines, no matter what
that one's going to be good.
Yeah,
and Dave, talking about Canadian teams, I want to give a big shout out to Vancouver's defender, Tristan Blackman, who recently got the call up to the U.S. men's national team roster. Well deserved. He's been working his butt off. So it
part of our history, baby. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right.
So
good to
shout out to Tristan for that one.
We always used to think, wonder if he'll get that opportunity. Even back then, like obviously he was still a very young player. With LAFC, he's certainly matured, and with Vancouver, he spent most of his career now with the Whitecaps, and fully deserved, though. You're 100% right. Good shout there, as the U.S. men's roster was announced for a couple of friendlies coming up in September here very shortly in that window. So certainly that'll be interesting. But welcome the new players, as we talked about, Andy Marin and Alexandru Balutza. Can't wait to hear from them on the pitch and talk to them, hopefully get to know them, and certainly as we go farther and farther in their black and gold career. Marin is on loan from Brighton over in the Premier League, and Balutza joins as a free transfer, so we welcome them as well. LAFC hosting San Diego, Sunday night soccer, airtime for the pregame, 7 p.m. Pacific. You can hear it on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app. We're back at BMO. We love that. Back at home.
Yeah.
And kickoff at about 7:55. Mario, take us out of here. Episode 70. Holy cow, another benchmark here of LAFC Plus.
Dave, this might be actually a good day to hit up Hobos before the game. It's a later game, so we might be able to hit up Hobos. And I don't want anybody to give me any crap for putting my ceviche on top of crackers, okay? I don't do the tostadas. I'd like to do the crackers. But people always get at me on social media. Yes, I like the crackers with my ceviche. But anyway.
I'm a tostada man. No, you got to do that. Okay, but I understand.
I'm not mad. But yeah, check us out at the ESPN LA app and on 710. Pregame starting at 7 with that long pregame. So we got almost an hour-long pregame. So make sure you check us out on the ESPN LA app and on 710 this Sunday. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.